Do we answer now, or are
Sure,
you
go
waiting
for
for
it.
it? Uh,
I
huh?
I think our coordination as a team is really poor.
Sure,
I think we're all really good individually, but as a team, we just struggle with execution of things.
sure, sure. How long you guys been together? The form says 6 months.
I think it's a little longer than that. I
A little
think,
longer. Okay.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
9-ish, 10,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. How did you guys find each other? Just acquaintances or friends or similar goals or what?
Uh, we kind of hop. I kind of know everyone like separately, and I kind of got everyone together
Okay.
because I was in different teams with them. Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. Sounds good. Scrimmaging about 2 times per week. Yeah.
Brown. Yeah.
And 4.5K or so face it open league. Scrimmage are
Mm-hmm.
about 4.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. Feels like we've hit a ceiling where we don't know how to get better. We know sometimes we're not some things that we do are not working, but we don't know exactly why. Also, we struggle a lot into ball compositions. This is the thing we look to be looked at with priority. Goals, short term, promote to advanced league. Long term, get everyone a spot in their respective country, Team Puerto Rico, Mexico, US, if World Cup happens again, and maybe a WCS. Feel like some understanding of the game and tilting issues or problems. Okay. So the way I like to handle team reviews, different than individual reviews, is this is why I have my notebook out. I like to go down the list of the Discord. Give me your name, your role, your rank, and your hero pool within the team, and then we kind of go from there, if that works for you guys. All right, we'll just start at the top if that's Shadow Killer. Shadow work.
Yeah, Shadow works.
Shadow works, okay. Rank, role, hero pool, the whole 9 yards. And then one additional thing, if you feel like there's something that the team needs to work on, what would come to mind? Give me one or two things in any order.
So my rank is GM5, peak GM4.
Okay.
My role is it's just general support because I can flex between main support and flex support.
Yeah.
My hero pool is Ana, Kiri, Bap,
Mm-hmm.
Eric, and then Lucio. And then something that I think the team could work on is like calming when angles have been taken and when lanes have been taken,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can execute dives a lot easier.
Okay. Comms and angles. Okay. Perfect. Next.
Hi, I'm
Hey.
Asper. My rank is GM, also GM3. I play flex support. My
Okay.
hero pool is Kitty, Bap, Sen, Hilary.
Okay.
And one thing that I'd say that would help us the most is for my DPS to stop running away from me when they need care.
Okay. Sounds good. Next.
My name's Coconut. I'm GM3 peak, Flex CPS. I play mostly Venture, May, Sim, and Sombra. And like I said, I think coordinations with our executions is very poor.
Okay. Specifically with like dive stuff or with angles or just like disconnects or what specifically?
That's just disconnects all around. Like I feel like we don't know
Okay.
how to engage fights overall.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Next.
My name is Downhill. I play tank. Play like Diva, Has, Ram. My peak is GM2. I'm GM5 right now. And I think we gotta work on like taking the space on angles, like whenever they're given. I think we don't take enough space when it's given
Okay.
to us.
Space on angles. Remind me your hero pool again. I heard has. What else?
Diva, Has, Ram.
Diva. Okay. Thank you. Next.
Marcos.
Give me a second. You go first. Wait, I'm eating.
Yes, come on, dude. Let a guy eat. Yikes. How inconsiderate. Go ahead.
Come on, White Hook.
Hi, I'm One Hook. I'm a Champion 5 Roadhog and Maga OTP.
Okay.
I think our biggest issue is determining where we should play and what should be, like, if we go first or if we try to go second in terms of a team fight. Should we respond or should we act first? I think that's our biggest issue.
Okay. Sounds good. Next. I'm not going
Okay,
back to Maglos. No, you got to keep eating.
Yeah,
You keep eating.
no.
Shut your mouth. Yeah, chew. Oh, keep going.
Okay, I'm Raiden. My best heroes are Tracer and Ash, but I also play
Okay.
Cass, Widow, Freya, Sapa Sojourn.
Rank?
I think. Oh yeah.
Peak as
well,
well.
I don't really play much rank because
That's okay.
Yeah, I just don't have time.
That's
But
fine.
I pick GM in Overwatch 1, so.
So what's your role with the team? You just play hit scan?
Yeah, Tracer and Hitskin. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, I think our biggest problem is like understanding what to do when the other team is playing faster than us. Because we are a team that likes to go like really, really fast. We always want to go first. We kind of struggle a lot when playing second. So, whenever there's a team that outpaced us, I think we have a really hard time taking the tempo back in our favor.
Okay, makes sense. Scout?
In game, my name is Scout. I am GM5 right now.
Okay.
My hero pool is typically Lucio. When it's needed, I play Brig, and when it's really needed, I'll play Ana.
Okay.
And I think that our issue is like just desync. Like sometimes we're just trying to set up, which we do take too long sometimes. And then by the time we're set up, we're already getting pre-fighted. Like we're already first picked. So yeah.
Pre-fight. Okay. Next.
I'm ready.
Stars.
Hey! No. You shut up. You're chewing still. You keep chewing. Stars, your turn. You gotta wait till the end now. Sorry. Go ahead for it,
My name is Stars. I play flex support. My peak rank is Masters 1. I'm Hardstock Masters 2 right now.
Okay.
My hero pool is Ana, Kiri, Juno, Bap, and I think one of our biggest issues is knowing what the enemy's win con is.
Okay. Is this in reference to Ball or just globally?
No, just in general.
Okay. Like when you say win con, the compositions that they're playing or the state of their ultimates or what?
Yeah, the state of their ultimates.
Okay. Ult. States. Okay. Thank you. Last.
Cool. Yeah. I'm Tay, and I kind of just like hang around this team and watch for my own personal experience. And one time I subbed, but I'm in Masters 3, a Tracer Genji player.
Sure. So you got the best. Oh, I was gonna say you should have the best objective opinion now. Spectating. You could be like me, just throw trash even though you can't do so. Okay, good.
Dude, I can't do that.
All right, finally we're going back to the Chewbacca over there. All right, now that you're done, what do you got?
No, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Fill me in.
Milos, I am GM5.
Okay.
I played Genji, Tracer, Sojourn.
I knew he was a DPS player.
Yo, what the hell?
Okay, keep going.
And I really think we need to work on more on getting comfortable with communicating with each other. Okay. Especially, Coconut and I struggle a lot with communicating. We usually just stay quiet when we're going on a little off angle or we're flanking.
Yeah.
And we struggle a lot with speaking on a 3-2 split or just going alone and finding a flank.
Yeah, okay. That makes total sense. Okay, so consistent theme here is just like disconnect between the splits. Like we are, in theory, trying to take the angles, but sometimes we don't prioritize the communication enough. And then worst case scenario, even when we do know that's important, the problem is that we're too busy focusing on our own like mechanics and our own setup to like communicate to the other person, essentially. That's very normal. That's especially normal for DPS players. You're playing roles that are slightly more mechanically demanding. So we need to kind of figure out how we need to be actually practicing that and go from there. Now, I'm going to address the elephants in the room really fast here. You have many players, okay? In terms of tanks, obviously you got your Hog Malga guy, and then your main, I assume, downhill. You're primarily the guy that's playing most of the time?
Yeah.
Okay, and one hook, what is your role with the team? I mean, you said Hog Malga, but how much play time are you getting? Is it just dependent or what?
dependent on if the other tank can make it and whether the team or the map benefits us.
So more of a sub depending on the situation. Makes total sense. But then we have several support players. What, 3, 4? Right? We have got Shadow, we've got Asper, we've got Scout, we've got Stars. So
Asper and I are the main support.
Yeah,
roster.
they're both starters. We're
me and
Shadow and
Stars
I
are
more like
subs.
sub.
Shadow is a sub and Stars is a sub, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this like as kindly as I possibly can. Don't take this the wrong way. But why are you guys subbing? Do you just like hanging around with these guys? Do you guys get how do you guys manage that? Because bench riding in Overwatch sucks. Like this isn't like real sports where people get tired and you sub in. You know what I'm saying? So how do you guys manage that?
Right. So I'm in another team. So whenever Asper can't make it, I'm playing for him.
Got it.
I used to play for this team actually like a couple months ago. I quit though.
Yep.
Because Asper was taking my spot.
Yeah.
And yeah, just whenever they need me, I'm there.
Makes total sense. Okay, that's good. I mean, the reality is that nobody in Overwatch really deserves to be your bench rider. Like even in like I cannot tell you how many pro careers were killed by up and coming players that decided to join an Overwatch League team and be like a bencher, or to join like an academy team and just learn. No, it's not how it happens. You play or you don't get better. That's it. So I'm glad to hear that. Shadow, what is your situation as a sub? Where are you fitting in right now?
So for me, I'm also on another team, but then like we are all in the same servers. I'm friends with these guys, and one time, or like not one time, but like a couple times, they need me to fill in for Scout or Asper, and then I just filled in. And so, what is it? Nowadays, I sub whenever I'm needed, and like if I have free time, so when my team isn't scrimming, sometimes I'll just pop in and watch and try to understand like what they do and why they do stuff. So.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going here. One Hook, are you happy with where you're at right now with this team? Because obviously you're the niche guy, but are you feeling like you're chill with the arrangement right now?
A little bit, yeah. Same time, no. I think if I get a little bit more time with the team, I think we can go higher. Because even though my hero pool is kind of limited, I think I do benefit a lot with these guys, especially since, I have a lot of synergy with them.
Sure.
At least with the DPS here.
Yeah.
And we're kind of really independent in the say so. Like Venture, very independent. Roadhog, very independent.
Yep.
Tracer, very independent. I think it would benefit more the team. Because I think our biggest struggle is dive.
Yeah.
So everybody being independent would be good.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. It's fun.
Okay, this is kind of like, I mean, we'll get to the DPS in a second here, but I guess my early diagnosis right now, at least with the non-support roles, is that you guys kind of need to get your crap sorted out. How familiar are you guys with Virtus Pro and EW or EU OWCS, the EMEA? You guys familiar with the team?
I am.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Yeah, they have the same problem with tanks. They have like Vestola and Icenom, right? And they just didn't commit to either one, and nobody's happy, right? Nobody's quite getting the development that they need. I mean, they did commit more to Icenom towards the end, but now you're wasting Vestola on the bench, right? So even teams with like only two tank specialists, like off tank and main tank specialists, like in theory that flexibility is helpful, and occasionally it is. I'm not gonna lie with you guys, but it is not free value. And I strongly encourage you guys to like talk this out as a team. I'm not saying somebody has to go, but there needs to be a clear level of expectations about what you guys need to do, if that makes sense. Because if it doesn't work at the pro level, it's not going to work here. And the only reason it's working with your supports is because your supports are getting full playtime elsewhere and are chill with that. And that's cool, right? But I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's not optimal with tank. And that's also, I want to explore DPS as well, because you've got Coconut, you got Raiden, and you've got, is that Milos, right?
Maglos.
It's important to mention his name in game is Gabo. Just so you don't get lost.
Okay, Gabo. Okay, makes sense. So how does that work then with DPS?
So I think for at least for the advanced qualifiers, when I was there, because I didn't show up for the second day, it was my birthday. I had to go celebrate it.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. but the first day that I was there, I was mostly starting since I play. I'm like Gabo plays Tracer, but he's like just starting with the characters. I'm the only Tracer player. This was my best hero by far.
Yeah.
And then since I play Hitscan, like kind of benefits us a lot more to like have me in. I think so that's why I was kind of starting, but I did get swapped out like at the last map.
Okay. I would encourage you guys to have a conversation with that as well. Like, I think it's really tempting with DPS, probably more so than any other role, even more than tank, because we are in a world now where, like, random heroes like Symmetra pop up, and having a really strong flanker player is really powerful, but then also it's nice to have a good Freya, and then, okay, well, having a guy that can play Venture that can swap for... Like, right now, it's really useful to have that flex, but I also don't think that it's 100% necessary to have that flex, and you still have the same problem where playtime gets diluted, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying that you guys need to upend everything that you're doing. When it comes to like teams that improve consistently, yes, you can have a VOD review and I can give you guys all the strategy of how to play versus ball and everybody walks away feeling good. But ultimately, you guys need to make systemic improvements with how you guys operate as a team if you guys want to see the biggest improvements. It's like saying that, like, oh, I got an hour more's worth of sleep. That's how I became a better Overwatch player. Nobody wants to hear that, but that stuff works, right? Less split play time, more consistent hero pools, more consistent scrimmage time, all the boring basic stuff, that's going to make you a better team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, use that as you will. Not that you're saying that, but if you guys are paying money for VOD review and you have aspirations of doing better and face it, and even maybe eventually some of you guys making WC, then that's something you guys need to have as a conversation. Now, on a separate note with OWWC, World Cup is going to be your skill as individual players, less so than your skill as an individual team. So if you guys want to qualify for World Cup, I don't know what like Puerto Rico, I don't know what Mexico like cutoff is for SR, but you're going to need to focus on your individual skill mechanics if you guys want to be considered for that. I can tell you right up.
Yeah,
I think most of us are Puerto Ricans, and we have trialed for like the team.
Yeah.
Or like we are gonna do the trials. I think
Sure.
most of us will get accepted into probably the team. So
Sure. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Any questions so far?
no.
Okay. To wrap it up, basically, the
No,
closer
at
you
least-
get to a 5-man roster, the better. That's it. Even if that means that you guys have, I would rather have a closer to 5-man roster with potential holes in your hero pool than having a flawless, we can play literally all the characters, and having a 9-man roster. Does that make sense? Now, again, I'm kind of giving you guys some slack with the support players specifically because neither of your support players have any expectations. They're just there to help out if you guys can't make it. That's perfect. It's totally fine. We're just friends. We're chilling. Not everything has to be super serious. But that's kind of the balance you guys have to find with the other roles. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in terms of compositions, what are you guys playing nowadays? I know right now we're up in flux in terms of patch. What are some compositions? What are some strategies you guys have been experimenting with recently? And what are we looking at with replay codes? I mean, maybe this is a good segue into replay codes right now, actually.
Whenever one hook is in, we like normally play the hog.
Sure.
Whenever Spaz is in, we kind of just play Diva and Hazard.
Yep.
That's like
it's fine.
our two-tier comp. Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah, and Ram.
I want to say one thing that did happen to us. Like, our bread and butter was typically like Has Venture with a Genji / Tracer with Kirilu, and during playoffs for Face It last season, the enemy team ended up like watching some of our replays, ended up like banning that comp.
Yep.
Each round, and then we kind of just got rolled because we didn't really have anything that we could like fall back on.
Sure.
Like,
so you guys need iterations off of that, right? So you said Curie Lucia. What were the DPS comps as well? Venture. What was the other one?
Venture typically with a Tracer or Genji.
Venture Tracer.
Then it has.
Okay. But I mean, they can't ban both Hazard and Diva, right?
Yeah,
so they choose.
No.
And then you just need to have a DPS flux situation. So you look at like, okay, Venture, Tracer, Genji, whatever. I'm looking at y'all's hero pools here. That's when you could run a Diva, Sem, Soj, with something along those lines here. So we can talk about how to do that better. Okay, well, let's pull up a replay code and we'll go from there. You guys have any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay. I will start my stream here, and then we'll roll. So I'm down to look at whatever. I'll kind of use the replay code as more of a springboard to talk about like macro, micro things, and not just to talk about the compositions.
Are we doing Busan or Nepal, Raiden?
I think we do Nepal first, and then I think second we do a map with Wanghoken instead of Busan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was also gonna add, Spilo. I have other teams other than this one, so I do get playtime consistently with the other teams.
Okay, excellent.
But I'm here with this team because I know a lot of these people and I have fun with these people
Of
more
course.
so than the other team, obviously.
Sure.
So I'm always like more here than there.
Yeah, makes total sense.
I'm not sure if you understood. But
No,
yeah.
I understand. As long as you're getting playtime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we talk into like the communicational stuff, I would like to kind of nail the head on how we should be practicing compositions. So this applies at all ranks and all situations. The way to build hero compositions and strategies is you need to start with your strengths and then migrate out as needed to match meta strengths. So you always start from your roots and you only expand to similar strengths. Let me give you an example. You said Venture, Symmetra, Mei, whatever. If you look at the current meta, like let's just say the patch notes recently, let's say Diva's giga strong right now. Well, that works out great. Why? Because, well, we already have a tank player that can play Diva. We just put downhill on Diva and we're cooking, right? But then let's say you look at the DPS hero pools and you're like, okay, Tracer we feel is a little bit weaker. And so we'll lean into Venture, but we don't really know what Raiden is going to play. Like, what would we do? Like, what would we pair with Venture? So Raiden, are there any heroes that you're pretty good at, but are like in your hero pool?
Genji, Echo.
Okay, Genji, Echo. Okay, so
Yes,
like let's
just
say,
kind of flexibility.
yeah. So let's just say that like this meta is Venture Echo. It's not the case, but let's just pretend that's the case. Okay, so you guys see Venture Echo. Is that a hero pool that you guys can play right now optimally? No, but close. You guys get what I'm saying? Close. We have some competence on Echo. So therefore, if Echo gets shoved into the meta, Raiden, you don't need to avoid that. You can embrace that. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
However, if something gets shoved into the quote-unquote visible meta and you are unable to play it, or it is a pretty big step away, I do not want you to move that way. I need you to stand by your strengths. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The reason this is important is because there's no faster way to sabotage your improvement or your team confidence than by trying to experiment in a composition that is a complete departure from what you're familiar with. And I speak from experience. However, I do not encourage teams to be one tricks and only one tricks permanently for the rest of their careers. It's a good way to sabotage your long-term career as well. I do encourage you to experiment. I encourage you on your own time and ranked to develop your hero pool, pick up new characters, learn new things. That's great. But then once you commit to what our experiment will be, like let's say we're going to try Venture Echo as a DPS pool, and then if things are going badly, we can just swap Sim Tracer or something that's more of a comfort pick for us, right? Then you're limited to sticking within that kind of spectrum. We don't play Ring Around the Rosie for the rest of the scrim block. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have Hazard, you have Diva, you have Kiri, you have Lucio. Maybe we'll throw in a Juno in there or something like that. You have your Venture, we have Sem, we have Tracer, and then maybe we'll experiment with a little bit with Echo. So you have a lot of flexibility, but we're sticking within comfort picks or characters that we're at least willing or decent at playing with. Does that make sense? And the reason why this is important is you don't learn mechanics in scrims. What are your emphases in when you're focusing on scrim? What are you thinking about when you're scrimming? A lot of the time.
Well, just trying to practice the comp, yeah?
Right. You're thinking about your teammates. You're thinking, like even the DPS players that are silent and not communicating enough, I promise you are thinking more about their teammates than they are in ranked, right? So even the selfish, quiet DPS players are still not focused enough on their mechanics. So they're not going to develop abilities on heroes as fast as they should. Does that make sense? So experiment in scrims with characters that you're good with. Maybe not great, but good, and stick to that. All set?
Yep.
So look at the comp that you're playing right now. Is this all strengths? Of course, right? I'm pretty sure this is everyone's on his strength character. Okay. Is this a meta composition right now? Obviously, you don't know, right? But is this a composition that you think is worth trying right now? Or is this falling back to what is comfortable even though we know it's not optimal?
I think well, I'm not gonna make a meta read, but I think this is pretty decent. Even
You think
if,
it's
like,
worth trying?
Does
Yeah,
everyone agree with this? We're being worth trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Does
Yes.
it make sense for the map?
There I have no clue.
I'd say so.
I think
No
she can
comment.
control left side pretty easily.
In my opinion, I think if we play correctly our splits, then yes. If we default, I think it's horrible. In my opinion.
I agree. I think you have to hard commit on the 2-man split. Otherwise, this gets really bad because you're just going to lose to better range, right? So, yeah. So this is worth playing. So then that means if this goes poorly this round, you don't swap. You understand what I'm saying? You do not swap because there's nothing wrong with your composition in this situation. Now, if you have an entire scrim block and Raiden feels useless on Tracer, and Raiden says, you know what, I don't know about this Tracer character. We need to kind of go back to the drawing board and figure something else out, then that's worth doing. But you need to give it a full test this map, at least. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Passes the check. It's all comfort characters. We think it's meta, so there's no real reason to learn something new. Okay, let's give it a shot. Any questions?
Nope.
Now,
None.
Why was this code selected?
We just grabbed a couple of codes
that
we thought we struggled a bit on our tournament.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
but
one
I
of them.
think I think we do win in here, but I think it's like really, really, really close. The reason I picked this code, it's like because most of the maps we lost that were kind of steamrolled. So
that's fine. Okay, sounds good. Let's take a look then. Thoughts on the initial split? Obviously, we had teleport. I mean, it's honestly even worth considering if teleport's worth it if you're not going to get into the first initial choke, you know? Like, what's the whole point of teleport? It's to get your tank here, right? So then if your tank isn't going to get here, then why are we teleporting? You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Just food for thought, because we're delaying our initial 5v5 to get an initial corner, but we're not really taking that corner. And then you can see the problem here is, what's the problem?
They're just like out-rotating.
We've got 2 supports on main, and our DPS are still rotating, right? Now, D.Va is going to need to give up space because we're still waiting for the DPS rotation, right? So, what's the problem right now? You see it, right? Kiri or Lucio need to commit to what they're doing, right? Like, we need this pincer to be here way sooner, and then we probably need a support to go with it at the same time. Does that make sense? We just need to deepen now. We need to get our split and we need to go. And if that split is uncontested, then we're cooking. You see what the enemy team is doing? Where's the enemy team split? Look at it from like the blackboard here. You know what I'm saying? Where's the enemy team split?
they're not taking an actual
2 on main.
Right.
Lucio?
Yeah, they're going coast, right? So with that coast rotation, you don't have contest there, which means that this angle has to work. The problem with this angle is it's taking forever because we did a teleport, but also I've got a Lucio that's doing what exactly? Is this your effective ranges, Lucio, right now? Like, what are you denying? What space are you controlling right now? You see what I'm saying, Scout?
Yeah.
So you either need to be full committing to your D.Va and hoping that we actually like at least playing in a range here where you're an actual threat baiting resources, or you should have been on the angle rotating. Like, here's the thing. People ask me all the time, and maybe you guys have this question as well. When does your Kiri go with your split versus when does your Lucio go with your split? Do you guys know the answer to that?
Nope.
Not really.
It's a really simple answer, okay? There's one exception to the rule, is if your tank needs speed on a disengage. You understand? Or any character needs speed and disengage. Lucio always goes with that person. However, if you're not playing for a disengage, aka you're not trying to kite an ultimate or push with an ultimate, so most neutrals, okay? The Kiri Lucio split is completely dependent on what angle the support likes better. In other words, when I look at this split here, who likes playing in this room, Kiriko or Lucio?
Kiri.
Versus who likes playing on the main angle, Kiri or Lucio?
Probably Lucio, right?
It depends,
I
right?
think
But
Kiri would be better here because
it's tricky, right? It's tricky. But so what that should tell you is it doesn't matter that much on this map. Okay? But there's going to be other maps where the split's wide open and a Lucio is going to feel terrible. Does that make sense? In which case, you should definitely have the Kiriko in the open angle. Where there's going to be a map with a lot of congestion. I mean, we'll see this with Shrine, right? And in which case, Lucio makes a lot of sense. Lucio is shorter range, likes more compressed verticality. Kiriko likes the more open sidelines. Make sense?
Yeah.
So in this situation, it doesn't really matter. Both are good. I would say probably Lucio, given hindsight, because your Kiriko could just stay with the tank and heal, and there's more range, and then Lucio can speed this rotation up. But to be honest with you, your Kiriko could also just teleport here, walk to here, and shoot, 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 shoot. This would be fine too. It's fine. Like, Downhill's doing a really good job playing resource light. We can live without a little healing. So, okay. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
And by the way, this applies to Sojourn, Symmetra. The Curie-Lucio split is 100% contextual on what angle makes the most sense for Curie and what angle makes the most sense for Lucio. You don't put Lucio with hit scan. You don't put Lucio with flanker. It depends. It depends on what you guys want selfishly as support players. With the obvious exception of, as I said, if you really want speed for disengage. But the good news is that to be honest with you, Downhill, you played this one real well. I'm so shocked that you were able to survive this well, but we've allowed our angles to support. The problem here, of course, is that we still have the double support stack and double DPS stack, which means it's just grossly inefficient because we could be benefiting from support resources here while also doing support resources here. But the good news is that we're all engaged. We have better map control. And so in theory, unless we screw up, like, I don't even need to look because on paper, we should win this one. And we do. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we can obviously look at micro there if you'd like to. If you guys ever have a moment or a fight where you would like to look more in depth, please let me know, okay? But obviously, I don't think our communication with our splits was the issue there, no?
Yeah. I think it was just our support split.
I mean, if anything, the communication with the split was really good because Downhill, you knew you had no help for a long time. And then right when your DPS were there, you were there too. So I don't know if that was an accident or what, but it looked good. It looked good. Like, you could tell when communication is bad without comms, just from the way things look, if that makes sense. Because you guys were relatively well synced.
I think the reason why we defaulted into like the double DPS stack is because of the TP. Because when I got there, like to the angle, Coconut was already taking it, and I was already like too far to like not commit.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I don't think it's necessarily a problem. This map is there's not a lot of options in this map, right? It's fine. Just send us support with it. It's fine. Thoughts on our split here?
I don't like it.
It's weird, right? It's really weird.
Yeah.
So, to be fair to Scout, Scout just got here. So there's not been a lot of time. But how can we make it better with the time that we had? Again, I want to blackboard it, right? Just forget the map. Just look at it from context. Overhead, what do you guys think?
I should have gone left side. Or DPS go left, right?
Yeah. Somebody needs to go. Like, I mean, somebody could go right. I definitely think we need some support further up. Like, Scout's too far, I think is the first thing. Despite the rollout. Like, even if you're here, Scout, just solo DPSing, at least you're forcing some resources without getting burned, right? But there needs to be something on here. I don't know what that is, but right now we're here. Now, we're kind of seeing why double flanker on a lot of maps can be kind of bad. Not all the maps. A lot of it's better than double hit scan, obviously. But do you see why double flanker is a bit awkward in this map? Because do Venture Tracer really want to play here and poke?
Yeah, no.
It's not terrible. You can make it work, but it's not great, right? So it's just a weak hit scan meta right now, but you're seeing why pro teams are running Freya, they're running Sojourn, they're running Cassidy, despite their relatively weak state, because it just feels bad to control the same angle. But yeah, TLDR, at least if we can get our Lucio involved a little bit further forward, we'd be okay. Okay. It's not bad to have 2 DPS in the same angle, it's just not optimal. Because we've lost a lot of map control as a result, right? Like, there's been really no pressure on these guys walking forward at all, which then means their diva gets off-angled. And to be honest with you guys as well, this is kind of... I mean, maybe this is just mechanics here, but we really shouldn't be losing this flank. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we ignore the diva on your screen, what do you see on our screen right now on this angle? Who's fighting here? Tracer, Lucio, Kiriko. You have to focus on what's on your screen here. So with this distraction here, this is unfortunate because the diva gets demeched, but then why else is this bad? Because what's happened to
I turned my back.
Because you turned your back, and now my Tracer's lost the angle as well. So I guess my point being is like this is hindsight's 2020, but this is why it's so important to take good space early and often because now we've just kind of snowballed from there. And then additionally, downhill for you. This might be worth a check of like where we're positioned right now because we are clearly not positioned to take the fight here. And to be honest, just a bit of a mechanical mistake, right? Like it's unfortunate to get deep back there as well. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But you guys have to be a lot more, like, I'm not going to say the word aggressive. So one of the things that you guys said a lot about is like tempo. I'm not going to say the word tempo in this VOD review because I don't believe as much in fast and slow. What I do believe is putting characters on their effective ranges, right? And so if you look at what's happened right now, who's playing their effective range right now?
Venture.
Venture?
I would say Venture and Diva.
Venture and Diva, right. And so are we ever going to be able to hold this choke or this position? No. Zero chance. Because nobody else is doing that. So when we talk about tempo, how about we talk about space, right? How about we talk about space? Whether we're fighting this fast or slow, we're not holding space. My Lucy's doing no damage. My Kiku's doing no damage. My Tracer's doing no damage. And again, a large part of this was also because we were just coming back from spawn. But it's not a miracle or a surprise when we lose this space, when we get quote-unquote out-tempoed. Of course it was going to happen, right? And so a lot of the times you can actually predict the outcome of a fight just based on a freeze frame right before things start. Okay, so let's look at the space that we control here. What do you guys think here?
I think we're okay.
Looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. Not a problem whatsoever. Now, in terms of fight planning, what should be the fight plan here? Give me the basics.
Bait out Malga's shout, and then...
But how do you bait out Malga's shout?
Maybe swing the corner with Kid or something.
Sure.
Force him to kite. Or force him to do something.
Okay, so you're saying just engage with Kitsune and see what happens from there?
That could be one, yeah.
Sure.
I think just poking the Malga until he uses the...
Sure, okay.
Like a soft engage?
Sure. So what do you mean soft engage? So a lot of terms are being thrown around, and I'm shooting them down because I want real words. So what is soft engage?
What would really happen here is downhill calling, can we kid this lane? And I'll be like, yeah, kidding, 3, 2, 1, and we run in and we start like calling targets. That's what would happen.
That's a great answer. That's totally fine. Okay. Now, one of the things that Stars talked about was win cons. About the enemy ult situation, okay? So the Kitsune on main is great. Totally fine. That's our plan, okay? But if we're ult tracking this, what is going to be used in response? Blade, or, I mean, assuming that we ult tracked maybe a little inaccurately, I know I would have, Kitsune Rush, Mirror, right? So then, so then what?
Oh, Shiba.
I mean, see. Here's the expectation for you guys. Okay, so like this is I know Stars is a sub, but like it brings up a really good point here, where like you guys are aiming for like Team Puerto Rico, and like you guys are like mid GM players and stuff, and like when I'm working with plat, high school teams, I'm gonna give them one layer. Just engage with an ultimate, ignore the enemy ults. Who cares? That's not good enough for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not, I'm not asking you guys to be like Overwatch League level or WCS level of layering here, but like if we engage with Kitsu, we need to expect a response, and then we need to know what we do in response to that. So we're going to go to level 3, okay? Can we do level 3? Level 1 is going in, level 2 is anticipation, level 3 is what do we do in response? Does that make sense? Level 3. Just 3 steps, that's it. Right. So what's the level 3 response to Kitsune or Blade? What should we do?
You really need to save speed.
Well, high noon. Kiting, yeah. No, wait a second. But we're popping an ultimate. So when we kite back, is that still good? Let me clarify. I think it is good, but there's a specific reason why. So if we go in with Kitsu and they go in with Kitsu, why is it still good for us?
Because we still in the Kitsu.
Well, yeah, but so are they, right? No. So think about it from their perspective. Where do they want to play right now? Where do they want to hold? Choke. So if we pop Kitsu, they have 2 choices. One is mirror Kitsu, and maybe they push out of the choke, which we want, right?
Huh.
Or 2, what do? They back up. Why is that good for us as well?
because we get the choke.
Because we get out of the choke, right? So we're operating at a map control disadvantage. Sadly, that means that the responsibility is on us most of the time to use ults first because we have a map control disadvantage. However, that does leave the enemy team in an awkward position where they have to decide to kite an ultimate or match an ultimate and then maybe make a mistake and overextend, which you guys can punish. So if they pop Kitsu, we can stand here and or back up and maybe punish. Alternatively, what could we do instead? Let's change the ult situation here. What if we had beat? What if we had venture ult? You guys can see where I'm going with this, right? What could we do instead? We Kitsu, they Kitsu, then what do we do?
And
we layer beat.
Then we layer beat. Layer venture ult, whatever, right? Like, obviously, your ults here, like Diva Bomb and Pulse Bomb aren't exactly good layering ultimates, let's be honest, right? However, if you have something that can layer on top, then, like, for example, if you guys had beat here, the proper play would be Kitsu, Kitsu, beat, advantage. That would be the correct play. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be the correct play. Now, there's some nuance here. There's some interpretation. Technically, you could kite their Kitsune Rush, see if you could beat their blade instead. You could do that. You could even walk forward aggressively with your amp on your tank. Okay, listen carefully. Who said soft engage earlier?
Me.
Okay, so soft engage is a bad term. What we're going to do is we're going to do a bait engage. We're going to walk in with speed aura, matrix, and shoot aggressively on the Malga while our flank pushes, but we're going to save amp and we're going to save Suzu because they're going to pop Kitsune Rush. We're going to Suzu amp speed and back all the way out again. You understand?
Okay.
Yes. But it's not a soft engage. It's an engage, just one that saves cooldowns. Now you might say, well, isn't that a soft engage? Yes, but I don't like the terminology of soft engage because you know what I see when I hear the word soft engage? Standing at a choke and poking and hoping something happens.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to
commit.
So
you're not really committed.
Yes, you're right. You need to. But my question was like, remember when I said, how are we going to force Malgash out?
Right.
You need to do something to force Malgash out. And so oftentimes what you're trying to do is you're trying to spend $1 to force 5. You understand what I'm saying? We'll try to use a little bit of matrix to force a Malgash out, you know? Sure, okay. We'll try to use a surprise angle because a good angle like this here is really scary. You see this? So they might panic and use an ult. You see the problem here for them? So oftentimes a good angle split like this can force things. Now, if that was the case, then we might want to consider my split. For example, if we wanted to use a push without an ultimate here, we probably would want our Lucio on main and our Kiriko on main. So Spilo, wait, both supports on the same angle? Yes. In that situation, yes. Because you were looking for speed and Suzu to get out. And so a Tracer with Pulse is just going to cause enough panic on the back. You guys get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the I'm throwing all of these options your way, but this is the important thing. Your decision at your level, not pro level, just good level, your decisions don't matter as long as it's level 3. So you guys could walk forward with a solo Tracer angle and bait out an ultimate. You could push in with Kitsune Rush and just double down with a Pulse Bomb, even if that's not a very good ultimate to use. You could sit here and farm your beat and play slow. With your Lucio on main and whatever, and just hope that they get impatient and use an ultimate, and in the meanwhile, you're just building your beat first. I don't care. You could send your Venture on a solo flank and say, let's just go in fast and just die and see if we can force a couple ultimates, reset, and take another fight. That's fine. It's fine. Just need a plan. So it sounds like from here downhill, you do a lot of the planning. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Why? You the smartest one here, or you're just the biggest mouth?
I'm the tank. Like
yeah, I know. So who cares? Just because you're the front line doesn't mean that you got the best perspective. Is that just the nature of y'all's team's dynamic, though?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I go quiet and other people fill in.
Okay. Can I ask you guys a question? One of the main problems that you guys had was a lack of communication between the flanks and main. What do you need from Raiden right now? What needs to be called from Raiden?
Yeah, he's ready.
That's it, right? Anything else?
Probably a target in case we can try to help him. Because that's something we
right. Sure. But that's optional. Okay, do you see my point? Okay, listen, DPS, Coconut, Raiden, the whole 9 yards. Okay, your communication is as simply as I'm staged or I'm currently engaged. That's all I need from you to call. That's it.
Okay.
All right. One of the biggest things that I had to do with pro meta stuff, whether it was with Backbone Sparker or Lethal or anybody else I coached with was, I don't need you to call anything complicated. I understand you need to focus on your mechanics, especially with a character like Tracer, but I need to know when to push. Like right now, we need to go Kitsune Rush. Why? Because this.
We've got our
Yeah,
if
because we got the
right.
angle.
So if the Kitsune Rush is late here, then it's either this person's fault or it's this person's fault.
Okay.
Make sense? So let's watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mistake. Right? Now you might go, oh well, they're over pushing into us. We didn't know that, right? That was clearly not the plan, unless you guys can remember the scrim and be like, oh yeah, we definitely wanted to bait them in, right? I don't think that was the plan, right?
No, yeah, they definitely.
So why did we continue rush, right? Why did we continue rush? So we might even win this fight, and it's still a mistake. You see it? So why did we win this fight? Because our angles are great. And instead of marking this angle, they got impatient and pushed, right? They could have just turned around and shot these guys instead, and they would have been fine because we didn't have a Kitsune Rush in main. Instead, they didn't know what to do with the split. They got scared. Malga runs in, and they look like idiots. The map is flipped. Oh. Where was Suzu?
Ping Diff, I remember.
Okay, that's okay. But in theory, we should still win this fight because that was a terrible fight from them. Like, just trash, right? However, it highlights a problem. We didn't get our sync right. Our split was great. Timing was not with our push. Really poor. Really, really poor. Make sense? Okay. That was a mistake from them, not a good play from us. The good play was the split, so you guys get partial credit. However, that was not pretty. Okay. Unlucky. Hopefully we can stabilize. This is just chaos. This is just chaos mid-fight. This is not something you guys should worry about. This is just, as long as my DPS communicates this, then we just have to clutch this out, and I think we probably should. Yeah, good job. Good clutch. I am 100% fine using solo ults, especially DPS ults like Venture ult, to just clutch out a messy fight. Totally fine. Okay. Let's go back to our setup. What do you guys think?
We're doing the same thing again.
I think that Raiden is not in an optimal range, but I don't think there's much he can do about it unless he swaps places with Coconut. But
I agree conceptually, but there's a micro adjustment. So Raiden here, you need to keep walking. I don't know why you stop walking.
I think I see a lot of people, I guess.
I know, but walk to here, you have 3 blinks and a recall, and you have your melee or your health pack perk. If you can't not die here if you can't live here longer than 6 seconds or 5 seconds, then that's a you problem, right? You need to go here. You need to walk. You need to walk here.
Yeah.
You're correct that you shouldn't int or push. You need to respect their attention, but you have full resources. They don't even look at you, and you're acting as if you're frick. No, you need to be here, and then as soon as they ignore you here, you need to be tailing. So you're here, but you're late, and it costs you a blink to do that too. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you're kind of doing the same thing that Scout did, if it makes you feel any better, where it's like you're like, oh my gosh, I'm by myself in an angle, and like, what if they push me? Yes, you're Lucio with amp. Your Tracer with triple blink on a corner. Please try to close the distance a little bit more. Okay. Make them clear you. Respond to the attention they give you first. Don't assume that everything's going to go down the toilet. Because beyond that, it's not trash. I mean, Scout, you really need to not fall to point. Why is this so bad for you?
Wide open?
Right, it's not your space. It's not your space. It'd be bad for an Anazen to do. It's even worse for Lucio. This is your space here. You stay here. Okay. You understand? My Kiriko can fall back. Fine. She can even swing teleport to Tracer, and then now we got a nice little split here. Again, we're in this like really screwy stage where we've had a couple of staggers, so we're constantly staggered, which it's fine. It happens. But there's no excuse for my Lucio to be here. Right? Yeah. There's no excuse for my Tracer to be here. There's no excuse. I mean, Kiriko's probably fine here. Like, Kiriko is DPSing, but it is a nice open sightline. But, like, besides that, this looks okay. But this just ends up being another play where we try to clutch it with... Wait, did we try to clutch it with a teleport? What happened here?
TP to my Venture here.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. Like, we could... If our Lucio doesn't get stomped here, they have everybody on point, and we've just completely surrounded them. So, we still might win this.
I inted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to start being a little bit more patient with our angles, right? This goes, but it's not just you, right? It's a little bit of everybody. So, okay, it's a tragedy. Okay.
This is where we know they have cage, and we say we probably need to use both supportals inside cage.
Yeah, yeah. But the good news is that how does Kitsune Rush match up versus cage fight? It's amazing, right? It's amazing. Yeah. The guy explodes. So in terms of our three steps, how do we do this?
Poke Mauga or wait for Mauga to
You see, that's not good.
Counteract after we ult.
There's no such thing as waiting, right? There's forcing.
We have to go first because
we use Kitsu, we force a cage, or he has to run away.
Okay.
And we see what happens after that.
So we do a 3-2-1 walk forward with Matrix on Malga and an off angle. So we're not even using an ultimate. We're just peeking the Malga from 2 angles. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then we respond. We either Kitsu or we chase afterwards. That's it.
Yes.
Okay. That's all. Now you're like, oh, but what about the beat? Nope, that's already 3 steps. That's plenty. So our neutral fight plan was the first layer this time. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right.
So let's see what we do. Okay. This is not good, but almost good. What's the problem here?
We separate a little bit too much.
Yeah, I guess we're not really. I'm kind of not speeding anybody. I'm just kind of like hanging back.
Now, let me be very clear. The reason why that's happening is there's fear of this angle, which is good. Like, you guys need to be respectful of this angle, but this is not the way to deal with this angle. You ready for what's the way to deal with this angle? Walk forward to the corner here and look at the angle.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like, it's the same thing with what was happening with Lucio Tracer here. I'm not saying run it down. Look at the threat. Be attentive. Like, if this Tracer comes in here, I can't have my Lucio looking this way. He needs to look this way. But at least give your team aura.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, at least put yourself on this corner here, Kiriko. So when we're doing this wide peak on the Malga stuff, that you can at least shoot and mark and heal or do something. This is just simply too far away. You need to be here. And the same thing goes with my Lucio. Make sense?
Okay.
If you're being respectful of a threat, that's good. Just don't be so respectful that you're not engaged in the fight. Because you know what? We almost get this right. Like, my Diva wide swing this, Venture wide swing this, Tracer wide swing this, and look what happens. Layer 1, success. Layer 2, forced. Now what do we do?
Another cage.
Well, yeah, we expected the cage, so
right?
We Kitsune Rush. I mean, here's the thing. If he doesn't cage fight here, we should Kitsune Rush, because this is a commitment. If he doesn't cage fight, he dies. If they beat this, well, then we'll be fine. So Kitsune Rush. Yep. Not good. Now, let me explain why it's not good. It's not the concept of double ult layering that's always bad. Situationally, it can be okay. But the problem here is that there's this hesitation. Go. Rip it. Why are we teleporting first? Use the Kitsune Rush now. I mean, you know how Kitsune Rush works. Half of a second matters. Half of a second matters. Because what ends up happening here is that this becomes way more stressful than it needs to be. I legitimately think the Kitsune beat is fine, because it's probably going to get both forced here. And thankfully, even if they do beat on top of it, because you guys have active Kitsune Rush, we still might win this. So let's see what happens.
I have a question. It's not about the fight, but I just have I'm just wondering, because I've never tried it. Can you Kitsu outside of the cage into the cage and it'll still go through, or
I don't actually. I think you can. Yeah, I believe you can. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I've never tried it. I'm too
It only doesn't pass through solid objects except shields.
So you can go here and Kitsune outside, and then just kind of play the angle and force him to walk outside, and then you'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I would say my main problem with this here. Yeah, this is bad. This is the. I'm trying to think of a good way of describing this. Our plan going into this was a soft engage, to use that terminology, right? Because what was our intention, right? We wanted to see what they would do, right? We wanted to walk, force a resource, and see what would happen, right? Which is what we're doing. So then why are we committing micro missiles and boosters on a target that we don't even force a cooldown on it? You see what I'm saying? So then this situation now, we're so late to our Kitsune Rush, and we're also late to like following up a our Kitsune Rush. Tracer gets a pass because Tracer's angle is the reason that the Mauga did that in the first place. But other than that, it's not good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the goat.
Because if we're here, because if we're here sooner with our Kitsune Rush and we're here sooner with our Diva, I think you guys probably win this fight. Or at least you open it up to target focus and mechanics. And by the way, this is where target focus definitely matters. Because it is where like literally everybody is available and there are no angles. There are no off angles in Boss Thing Say. So you basically just shoot what's on your screen and hopefully it's all the same thing. That being said, looks like we're gonna still scrap it out, which is good. Kitsune Rush is really good. And those long extended engagements. And as long as we keep our target focus here, and it looks like we will, we should be fine. Nice job. And as long as my Diva doesn't get demacked, I'm happy. Nice. Nice job, guys. Okay, looks good. Is all this making sense so far? Yeah. 3 layers. All you guys need to do is 1 layer of an ult or a push, an idea. What is their response? What is our response? And crucially there, if they had beat engaged, our response is the same. If they'd caged fight, our response was the same. If they Mauga slammed with Cardiac without using an ultimate, our response was still the same.
I have a question. Is it possible to try to bait something with just cooldown instead of an ultimate?
Of course. We talked about that right there. How do we force the Mauga to slam? We used an angle, we used Matrix, and we used speed.
Okay.
Remember that? I mean, that's how it should have been. Yep. If our supports had been a little bit braver and we've been a little bit better with our defeat Diva cooldowns, then it would have been fine. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. You don't have to use an ultimate to open. Absolutely not. But it does have to be a decisive, like, you know, we're going to do this kind of a thing. Okay. So this is one of those moments where fight plan is more about space control, angle control, rather than ultimates. Why?
Because we
don't have any.
We don't have any. And we don't have any. Well, we do. Yeah.
Three ultimates coming up.
Yeah, the layering from both teams here is pretty crappy, right? You've got Blade kind of sort of, but there just isn't really a lot. And Venture Ult's inconsistent, Pulse Bump's inconsistent, Diva Bomb's inconsistent. And by inconsistent, I mean when you see the opportunity, just do it, right? You just have to go. And Diva Bomb is more of a remake thing anyway. So it's really important that we get our splits here, right? So where should our splits be? This is a neutral fight. It's just like first fight. So what should our splits look like right now? Do we like our splits right
now?
No. Correct. It's terrible. So what should we do to fix it?
I need to get out of where I am.
There's options
I think
here,
Raiden
right?
would
There's
go
options.
on the bridge right side here. Yeah, Raiden would go there. I think Coconut would be ready to pressure on left side door where she is right now. Just in case we can get an ultimate while they cross. I think that would be great.
Yes, agreed. So the support
I think Lucio would be with Diva, just in case Diva has to back up. Like right
Do you like this here, Scout, or does this feel uncomfortable to you? Be honest with me.
I mean, yeah, sounds good, but where should I be? Should I be with my Tracer?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking you, where do you want to be? Right? See, don't ask me that question. What do you want to be? I don't know. You tell me. Do you want to be with your Diva? Do you want to be with your Venture? Or do you want to be with your Tracer? Which of these angles do you like better as a Lucio player right now? There's no speed needed right now, right? There's no speed disengage needed, so it's completely up to you.
Probably like to be with my... If I'm thinking about the Venture ult, I'd want to be with my Venture just so I could get her in there.
Ooh. So you're actually going with your Venture because of an ult situation. You're changing which angle you're going with. That's good. Yeah, that's clever. That's clever.
In like a neutral type of way, I would definitely go with my Tracer.
But here's the thing. You're favoring the ultimate here, but is this position good for you still?
I think it's...
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's pretty okay.
I think it's okay too.
On right side, so, you know, I'm not too worried.
So as long as you're choosing your angle split, finding the balance between what is good for me versus what's good for the ult situation, then we're fine. If you're like, I really hate this angle, I don't care about Venture Ultimate. You don't play here. I think I agree. This position's fine. Venture Ult's bonus, so this is the better angle, I think. Okay, so then where does Kiriko go?
Shouldn't she go with the Tracer? Like,
yeah,
it's a longer angle?
I agree.
Yeah,
this feels like a longer angle. Maintain sightline on your Diva. You get a nice open sightline. If Diva rotates the point, we can maintain the pressure there. So we have Lucio Venture controlling that. Now, to be clear, Lucio could go with Tracer, and Kiri could go here as well. This would also be good. But yeah, that's it. You guys nailed it. Okay. So splits matter especially when we don't have ults, right? Especially when we don't have layers. I mean, splits always matter, but you don't have to worry about speed disengaging and so on. Okay. Make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because we don't really have a split right now. Because do you see how easy it was for them to rotate out of the space?
Yeah.
And then does this look familiar? Does split look familiar? Supports kind of look lost in the sauce. Double DPS in the same angle.
Yeah.
It's the same crap, right?
Yeah.
This puts your tank under a lot of duress because it's really hard for downhill to know exactly what to do. That seemed like that was a communicational like dive call, no? I mean, this was pretty neat.
I don't think we called anything, eh?
Yeah.
Well, like right now, nothing was called?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think we just defaulted to it. I think we all.
I think all I said was I'm behind them. I'm gonna ult.
Okay, it was good. It was good. It was a terrible setup, but I mean, you guys had the bloodlust there just to snap your fingers and just stuff started dying here. I mean, even my Lucio's getting involved now, right? So like we actually might be able to win this despite that. So yeah, good job. Good job. The problem is that we keep having to use support cooldowns to get to spots that we should just already be, you know?
Yeah.
We keep having to use teleport. We keep having to use our amp on these rotations. It just feels really bad. Okay, we should win this. Before I skip, yeah, I think we do. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far?
Nope. I do.
Yeah, go for it.
It's about my amp. I feel like a lot of time I'm wasting my amp, and I just kind of want to know generally. I mean, I know I should save it for like when we're calling like a engage or disengage, then I know I gotta save it for then. But whenever we're like just doing nothing, I just
so you're talking about like that first fight split that you quote unquote should have been on, and that last fight split that you should have been on is kind of what you're referring to, right? Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
You ready for this? Anytime that we're not actively calling to hide an ultimate, honestly, even on some engages, because some engages is just like it doesn't make, like, for example, if we go back to here, okay, and we said, okay, where are we at here? And you were, like, let's just say that you were here, okay? So you were with your tracer on this weird angle, and then this happens. And then Malga starts looking at you, and they start pushing you and your tracer. You know what you do? You amp.
Yeah.
Do you amp speed? I don't know. Amp heal? I don't know. Whatever you need to do to help you hold this space or live or win the 1v1 or get the boop, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like obviously, as you guys have seen, there's a lot of value about baiting ultimates or pushing in with ultimates, right? But if that's not the plan, remember, amp is just good. Period. It's just a tool like anything else. Do you only use Suzu to cleanse things? No. It's free healing. It's invulnerability. So sometimes you're gonna Suzu yourself to win on 1v1 in the tracer. So use amp just to win, to fight. Like, look at the situation here. Let's say you were with a coconut now. What would you amp here?
For walk up, I guess.
Yeah, just here.
Right now.
Just right now. Yeah. Amp right now. Walk forward to here and amp right now, and then pivot to healing or speed or whatever is necessary. That's it.
All right.
So don't worry. Don't overthink it. Essentially, is what I'm saying. It's only complex or to get the timing right when you're doing like these walk forward, bait and engage, or push it forward with. But like, for example, we'll look at it here in a second. But I'm gonna look at your next amp when it happens. But okay. Okay, teleport here. Okay. Okay, so this is really important. If this ever happens to you guys when you're stuck here, you either need to play it very patiently or you need one of your supports to cheat out the angle. And so this is more of a map situational thing. So what's the problem right now? Obviously. Double support stuck in main again. Okay, obviously, right? However, at some point, point's going to unlock, which means that in theory, you can walk out of this choke. You see what I'm saying? Alternatively, you could do this. Hold the angle here. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's so important for us to get this split here so that we can start to heal and damage and play the game, right? Then it might be worth using a teleport there. I don't know that I'd recommend doing it for Lucio. Maybe you guys can matrix him out. I don't know. But somebody needs to get here. Because then, I mean, do you see how cozy this is? Like, look how good your vision is here. And you're like, oh, no, they're going to push me for not having teleport. Yeah, unlikely, right? If they do that, you Suzu, they die, essentially.
Question, is that angle good to come out of, like, defaulted with a Tracer Lucio split?
I think it's important. I can see the arguments in most situations to keep your stack together. Because if you're taking symmetric teleporter, the intention is to get out of the choke entirely and then walk here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's good to be stacked right now. The problem, they beat you to it. They TP'd, they amp speed, and they also had Wrecking Ball, so it didn't work as well. So you're not. So unless you're expecting them to just shove you into the choke, in which case, yes, you should absolutely take the split right from the spawn.
Okay.
Makes sense? Good question. But yeah, you're trying to get AoE speed value right now, and then just like, oh crud, we're stuck. And so then you just need to cheat out. I mean, worst case scenario, if you really want to, you could just walk backwards and then walk this way. And to do that, that would be fine as well. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good Tracer split. D.Va positioning is fine. Venture's trying to apply a little bit of pressure. We're walking forward. We're opening our lanes. We're opening our angles. They're kind of fighting withdrawal. And I mean, they're paying costs for going so fast with it. But yeah, Venture's taking space. D.Va's taking space. As long as we live, we're gonna be okay here. What happened here? Where did
we split up and we lose targets.
I think you left too soon, Esper. So was the Suzu used at a good time? Yeah, I think it was.
Nice.
Nice, that's my carry.
Ah, son of a gun. I knew something stank. Because I was like, man, Lucio is taking so much resource here. You just need to chill here. Remember, like, you just need to chill. You're fine. Like, all the attention goes to your Lucio, and you just need to heal, and then we trade this, no problem. Yeah, we're fine. Just an individual error. I mean, I could also say, okay, where was Scout for doing this?
Just got booped in there.
Well,
I feel like maybe I could have went the other direction towards my spawn and rotated through main.
Yeah, I mean, you just need to find a corner, right? I mean, just, I wouldn't be
like I shot. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a positional adjustment. Just go to like here, you know, play the edge, so it's just easier to LOS stuff here.
Okay.
And then I feel like you're playing a little bit of like is you're just getting duck goosed, you know what I'm saying? Like you're freaking getting smacked by 4 different angles. And if you just were able to deal with any one of these things cohesively, then you would have been fine. Because this boop is really what kills you, you know? But it's fine. I would just generally position yourself less in the open and more on a side. So more here, more leaning here, more committing here. I mean, frankly, if you really wanted to, you ready for this one? This is going to be spicy. Maybe the safest spot for you to be here is to just move forward with your amp to here.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, what are you peeling in this comp?
Ball.
Like,
No.
Tracer, maybe?
No. Who are you peeling for, I guess is the question.
I don't really need to peel for anybody.
Yeah, you're peeling for you, okay? You are the most fragile character in this composition. I hope you realize that, right?
Yeah, I did notice that at some point when they started inting on me 24/7.
Right. Your first priority needs to be finding an angle that actually has cover for you, right? So this position looks remarkably like the previous round, right? Where you're just kind of hovering in the open and you're getting your face kicked in. If you go here and they all end on your Kiriko, she's fine. She's just going to teleport away and we'll get trades elsewhere. Focus on yourself, right? So I feel like we're just vaguely holding space right now, but we're not really decisively controlling angles and fighting for things. Like right now, we need to be putting more pressure so that we're under less pressure. So right now, you didn't peel Tracer, you didn't peel Ball, you didn't peel Genji, and so now those things deal with you. And it's just because you're getting surrounded. You just need to commit to a lane, commit to an angle, and just do stuff from there. Make it easy.
Okay.
Because that way, if the Kiriko gets all the resources, like probably what the intention was here, then she's just going to teleport away, and she's going to be fine, right? Instead, you become the dive priority and you become the dive target, and then it just sucks, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of goes back to your amp question. How do I use amp? I don't know. How do you want to use amp, right? If we're not actively looking for a push-pull, the first thing you need to be doing is focusing on keeping yourself alive. Like you are like I won't say you're the main character, but you are like the most fragile, most important person in this comp in terms of like, if you can live, you're going to win the game.
Okay.
But you have to live while doing things, right? Which is why positions like this are so important, because it's those positions that not only allow you to live, but they also allow you to coincidentally do things. So, okay. Splits here definitely matter. There's nothing to pull them towards point, so we definitely have to have a split. What do you guys think of our split so far? It's a disaster, right? Intentionally,
I'm doing nothing.
It's a disaster, right? There's confusion here, right? I can tell that you guys don't really know what to do here, okay? Let me ask you guys a question. Is this okay for Lucio right here? Right where my camera is. It's okay, right? Is it okay for Kiriko? There's not many better options. Okay, what about the split here with where my tracer's going? Can Lucio fight here? Can Kiriko fight here? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, totally.
If I'm being nitpicky, I will probably bias if we're not amping my tank in. I just prefer Kiri with tank, to be honest. It's just healing is just easier, more value, yeah. But really, Lucio being here is fine. This is a fine split in theory. Just scout, you're not there, and I think it's because you don't know what to do. No?
Yeah.
You want to know why you don't know what to do? Because you're a team player. I see this all the time in GM and Masters Lucios. You've been told over and over again, it's your job to peel ball. It's your job to peel Genji. It's your job to mark Tracer. They're wrong. All of them are wrong. It is your job to take an angle and find value when and where you can. That's it. And right now, there are 3 different responsibilities on your screen. 4, if you include marking the enemy Lucio. You can't do all of them. It's not physically possible. We saw that last fight when you tried to do all of them. You did none of them. Literally did none of them. Didn't boop the ball once. Didn't mark the tracer once, right? So what do? You go here, and you do what you can. Let them deal with that. You deal with this, or vice versa. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. So you think the optimal play is to stick with my diva then?
I don't think it's the optimal play. I think it's fine.
Oh.
I've already established why I don't think it's optimal, because I think Kiri with Diva generally makes more sense. If the map is equal, like both of these angles are kind of whatever, so either one is fine. But to be honest with you, this isn't a bad angle for you, so sure. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. You've committed here, so commit. The problem here is not the decision. The problem is the indecision. You see it? You don't know what to do, and so you're not doing anything. You would be immensely useful here. You would be immensely useful here, but you're late. And so we're already losing a resource straight here. You have to amp to get to where you should have already been.
Yeah.
You noticing that? So the amp usage, if anything here, is more of a consequence of you just not simply knowing what you should do. Like right now, you're here. Okay, so stay here. Stay. This is your job. Your job here is to protect your diva and to help mark the Genji. And so this is much better. Now you're like, oh, but Venture needs help. Not your problem. Not your problem. Your job is to make sure that this diva doesn't get bullied out and then they go and kill your backline, right? This is fine.
Okay.
What's your job now? Well, this stuff, right? That's because this is where this stuff, right? Or maybe this stuff because it's close, right? So you just need to kind of focus on controlling. This is not your job. Why?
Because it's already kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's already covered.
You're looking for sure. You ready for the easy answer? Okay. And this is, by the way, this applies to all of you guys, right? DPS and support. It's too far. It's not your responsibility. Too far. You chose here, which then means you deep into here, which then means you deep into here. So you just do with what's convenient. So if right now your job is to help ball, your job is not to do this. You saw it, right? You immediately saw crit, and you're like, oh, I gotta go help. Why is that a mistake? Because what happens the second that you leave? This problem becomes a problem. They're going to engage on you. You're not taking high ground. You're not marking this angle. You're not put yourself in a position to deal with the ball as well as you should. And look at where we are. We're in Guam, right? This is terrible, right? This is terrible. Now, It's not because you made a bad decision because you're stupid. It's because you thought of, oh, I have to deal with responsibility. And so the deficit just continues to grow. Does that make sense? And the reason why I'm emphasizing this point so much for Scout is because this is applicable to everybody, as I said, and you guys will fundamentally not understand how to use splits in Overwatch if you don't understand this rule. If I go back to this previous fight here, and my Kiriko is constantly second-guessing herself, like even right now, you can see there's just a delay. Like, why are we so slow? We should have already been here if this is where we wanted to go, because look at where my tracer is. This delay is lethal. We need to move. And so if at any point in time now my Kiriko hesitates here, we're going to lose this fight. Does that make sense?
Would have been better if we sent Scout and Tracer here before the fight begins.
Yes.
Would have been better to send Scout and Raiden to the point and force either point capture so they rotate and we have easier access to high ground.
It can be. I just think from a Lucius perspective, this rotation can feel really cancer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So you might have to be a little bit more patient with kind of fighting and prodding like this angle while prodding this angle here. It's not bad to fight for this space. It's okay. If you have like a sim comp, then making the rotation a point is a lot easier. If you have a ball comp, the point pressure is also a lot easier. I would say if you ironically would want to pressure point, it might actually be easier to do with the Kiriko. Throw your tracer around coast, triple blink, teleport behind here, do something. And again, a very extreme example. Maybe you do it if you have like 0 ults into 5 and have to do something stupid. But yeah, it's a good question. But you guys think about it the right way, right? Like the thing is like, okay, how do we want to approach this split here? And then crucially just commit. It's the same thing when we were talking about the 3 layers, right? I don't care if you want to walk forward with speed, bait the engage and disengage, or you want to engage with one ultimate and then match, or buy, one, then they use one and then we back up. Doesn't matter. Just commit to your plan, commit to your angle. You cannot second guess yourself because you don't actually learn anything about the process. And it also means that the angle is just not executed well at all. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of wait till we have an actually clean fight win because we can actually talk. And this is perfect too because somehow we didn't use any ults, so we can actually have a nice 3-layer conversation. So let's look at our 3-layer conversation first, then discuss our setup. Okay. We know they have beat. We know they have mines, but we have layer advantage because obviously support ults, right? Support ults are just considered layers most of the time. So how should we approach this fight? Not only one way, but what should our first layer be?
Focus Lucio. Try to get him out before he can even beat in the first place. Maybe?
Okay, so you're saying your fight plan is actually like, let's hunt Lucio. Okay, so what is that inevitably going to lead into? Almost certainly.
Forcing beat,
some sort of Suzu beat, whatever. Okay, then what do you guys do?
Match beat?
Yeah, match beat. So we're gonna hunt Lucio and layer beat. Mid-fight, we'll use Venture, Kitsune, whatever's necessary. Now you're like, but is that enough? Like, we have a Kitsune rush. That's good enough. That's fine. Hunt Lucio, force beat, match beat.
Okay.
Right? So that means if the fight plan is matching beat and hunting Lucio, how flexible are our off angles? How spread out can we be?
Well, I think...
do we have to be stacked, I guess is the main question.
I'm not sure I get the question.
So when I'm asking about how far away we can split our supports, do you understand what I'm saying? Like how spread out can we be? You know how when we were talking about like baiting and kiting and we had to worry about Kitsune and cage fight, do we need to worry about that as much here?
Not really.
Not really. We could probably anticipate point pressure, but beat's pretty strong, beat's pretty far, right? So to be honest with you guys, as long as we're letting them kind of walk in a little bit first, we can kind of do our splits however we want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't the fight plan, but we did have a fight plan, right? We did have a fight plan.
We saw the ball in. We went in.
Yeah, I said I was gonna be a rat in that corner.
Yeah. That's true.
I will say my one criticism of this is that it really is you guys literally compromise literally every angle on the entire map in the hope that the ball would do this. I mean, what is this, right? So, I mean, hindsight's 2020, so I guess it worked. But I mean, even here, I would probably still be like, Raiden, I still want you lurking here, please, because I don't want to get back capped. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the Kiriko from this angle to 2-tap my Lucio. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody has to hold that space for us. So, you know what? Hindsight's 2020, I guess. But yeah, that really only works because they screw up their timing. What's the problem with this fight plan right now? Look at their timing. Do you see it?
Yeah, they're all like too far back, and
they're in spawn. They're not doing anything. They're not pointing point pressure. There's nothing happening. So it's like by the time the Kiriko gets there now, he's already basically dead. Like point pressure. Oh, it's too late. So a lot of y'all seem to do really well with Coconut Go Kill, and we try to kind of follow up off of that. That might be something to keep in mind when we're trying to consider our first layer. So what you guys might want to do is to do fight plans like this, where the first layer is Coconut's going to do something super aggressive, and then we have one person kind of marking or controlling the angle, and the rest of us are kind of focusing on that, So like for example here, if it feels natural to like let Coconut call what the plan is, then or like to kind of go in aggressively and pop off, then just have like Coconut lurking like up in here and just go into their spawn with Coconut hunting that Lucio down, and then you beat layer on top of that. So you could use your first layer as like, I'm going to just weaponize my Mad Dog Venture. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. The only thing I'm asking is just to have one split, please. That's why we run Tracer. It's because we can put Tracer on an island even without support.
Yeah.
It's fine, you know? Please call Coconut Mad Dog from that one, by the way. Mad Dog. Okay.
They don't even call Venture Venture. They just say our coconut, bro.
Yeah, literally. literally.
Can we coconut? Can we coconut?
Literally.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about, Coconut, right here. You know, like, you gotta be screaming this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a commitment. This means push. I don't like this all that much because I'd much rather prefer them to engage on us because it's on them to move into us. But we can push this here. Like, we can at least force some ball resources. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So, I guess we can kind of close out the review with this. I'll finish out this fight really fast because it works, of course. But I think the big thing that we didn't talk about as much was how do we handle communicational problems with the DPS on splits. And I think we've seen a couple of things that can alleviate that. And I want you guys to pay very close attention. Number one is Weed Eater support's taking better splits, at least from some of the fights that we've watched, right? Which is going to help that lack of communication because it's going to be easier to be cohesive because we're going to have more eyes on what's actually happening. We're not going to be on island. My DPS aren't going to be in the islands as often. Make sense?
Yes.
Second thing is that the expectation for my DPS to what to call is really not much. Remember what we said on the Paul Sanctum? What needs to be called for my Tracer?
I'm ready.
I'm ready, or I'm going. That's it. That's literally it. That's all what we want. So right there, Coconut, just go. I'm going. Go. Can we go? Can we go? Can we go? Right? And then we just need to go.
Okay.
All right. That's all. That's all. We don't need a complicated call.
I ended up getting the kill, and I was like, "DM me out, please, DM me out."
Yeah.
Getting speeded and DM'd out.
And that's great, right? But that's like, I don't want to call an ambulance for you. You know, I want to give you like a shot of steroids. You know, I want to give you the support, not the bailout. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to feel stressed. I want you to feel confident that even if I die here, that my team is killing ball at the same time.
Okay.
And then the way to practice this is, I'm going to be honest with you guys, the only way to practice this is just to freaking go into a scrim block, and that's all that y'all DPS practice. Supports work on your splits, DPS work on calling your timings on your pushes. That's it.
Okay.
When I was working with Sparker, so Sparker was really bad with communication. Really good mechanical player, really good attitude, really smart player, but really bad and we really needed him because early on in Overwatch 2, it was Soldier splits, Soldier Lucio splits, off-angle control. If he doesn't hold his off-angle, then Landon on BAP is dying off of cooldown. Like, literally every fight Landon dies, okay? So Sparker had to communicate not only, consistently, but he had to communicate well. Like, there could be no fights where Sparker is not communicating his angle and or not communicating, if he needs resources or whatever, right? And really, all I had to do is sit in his voice or in whispers, right? And just over and over, call, reminder, call, don't forget, call, fail it, fix it again. Now, you guys don't have that, coach or whatever, so you guys need to keep each other accountable nicely. But you guys and in DPS players, you guys have to be ruthless on that. That might mean that you perform a little bit worse mechanically. That's okay. This habit needs to be instilled now. You don't need to call well. You don't need to be communicative, chatty Cathy, smart guy. You just need to call when I'm going, when I'm on the angle, when I'm applying pressure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the crucial thing here is not necessarily when you're going in, although I know that's more of a staple with Venture, but just simply when I'm peeking. Right? We saw that with the Tracer, right? Just simply, I'm serving a distraction. Now is your time to do something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, crucial things to practice. Number one, work on support splits. And then number two, DPS calling those timings, right? To be honest with you guys, if you're on that split and your DPS fails to make the call, you can call it for him if you want. Because you're there too, right? But somebody has to call it.
Okay.
Number two, this is something that you work on in a different scrim block. Do you hear me? You do not work on this at the same time. The 3 layers. Layer 1, response, our response. When I say 3 layers, it's not 3 things you guys have to factor in. It's more of like, we're going to do this to force this and then do that, right? That's it. You don't need to have 3. It's more of they have a layer 2. And the crucial aspect that we kind of brought it to mind there, obviously we were talking about that beat force and then we use our beat on top. But like, what if they used mines during us trying to force beat? You know what you do? You beat. Okay? It's fine. It's really fine. Like we talked about that with the Nepal one too, right? If they don't use cage fight, or if they used blade, or if they use beat, it doesn't matter. So really all we're looking for in a layer 2 is something from the enemy team. Even if it's the thing that we don't expect, it doesn't matter. We continue with the fight plan.
Okay.
So if we use one ult or we use a soft engage, if we want to use that term, and they respond with something, then we just respond with a third thing. I'm not saying be an autopilot, just turn your brain off, but that's, I think, a good solid level up from where we are right now. And then maybe if we get more comfortable with that, then we can start to be more intelligent about what we use in that third response. But for right now, we're not there yet, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
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 Okay. In terms of external things, consistent practice is important. Y'all figuring out y'all's roster. Doesn't need to be any major changes. I'm not encouraging major changes. You do whatever you want, but just keep in mind my advice for that. And the second thing is for your experimentation. Obviously, we didn't see a lot of it today. You guys stuck with a comp, and the comp makes sense for you guys, and it worked well. But if you guys ever do get to that experiment phase again, there's a meta shakeup. People are losing confidence in certain heroes, whatever. Remember what I said. Stick to your guns, but be willing to spread maybe 1, at most 2 heroes. Only if those heroes are at least somewhat comfortable. You can learn new things, but you cannot start from scratch in scrims. It's not possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That will, even if that comp is good, you would destroy your confidence in that comp because you would suck at it and you'd think it was bad, even if it wasn't. So if you just can't play it, you're gonna have to grind the character in ranked, and then when you can say, "Hey, I actually have a good Sombra now. I think we can give it a shot." Then yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But thankfully, the developers have done a decent enough job where there really isn't any must-play characters most of the time. Even at y'all's level, it just doesn't really happen too often. So, okay. Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. I know this was a lot. I want to encourage you guys to do more than anything else to try to simplify the feedback into something that you guys can apply immediately in a scrim. Whether it was some of the individual feedback that I gave or the more team focused, the 2 things that we talked about as a team. But there's a lot of info, but the only way to get better is to take that info and directly apply it until it's boring. You've thought about it so many times. We've been practicing the 2 angle split stuff or the 1, 2, 3 layers for 4 weeks, 5 weeks of scrims. I'm so freaking tired of hearing it. When you get to that point, then you know you've probably made a little bit of progress. But sadly, that's just how it is, especially at y'all's level. Okay, no more questions?
Sounds good. Mm-hmm.
Yep.